Day 3, trying to find a husband. Let's go to Bunnings. Any plumbers? Where may I find plumbers? Okay, let's go into lighting, see if I can find an electrician. Any spuckies? Nope. Hello? Hello? Anyone? Barbecues. Guys are always in barbecues. Waiting. See you. Gardeners, landscapers. Anyone? Better luck next time, Bunnings. But first, sausage sizzle. Well, I might have to try another day. That didn't really pan out. No one was there except for old people. Might have to try a different day of the week.
You won't believe what it's come to. Women, once loud, proud, and independent, are now dressing up just to walk through Whole Foods, praying they bump into a man. Not for fun, not for groceries, but because they're desperate. They're looking for husbands in the frozen food aisle, trying to flirt in the fruit section, hoping a good man just magically shows up and saves them from the very loneliness they created. These are the same women who told us they didn't need a man, who laughed at traditional values, who chased careers, clout, and chaos. Now, they're humbled, they're desperate, and they're searching, not because they've changed, but because they ran out of time. Now, let's break it all the way down. It's gotten real out here. You've got lonely, desperate women literally walking through Whole Foods Market dressed up like they're on a first date, hoping to bump into a husband in the produce aisle. That's where we are now. And let's be clear, these aren't women in their 20s with options and time on their side. No, these are the same women who spent their prime years saying, I don't need a man, I'm focusing on me, men are trash, and I'm married to the streets. But now they're out here scanning grocery stores like it's Tinder, hoping a man with a shopping cart and decent hygiene will look their way. It's not men who are desperate. It's not men who are begging. It's not men who are creating TikToks about how hard dating is. It's women. The same women who said they were too good for a 9-to-5 man, too bossed up for a provider, and too independent to ever settle. But life humbled them, fast, and now they're crying in parking lots, buying flowers for themselves, and try to strike up conversations with strangers over almond milk and kale. Why? Because reality finally caught up. The men they passed up? Gone. Married. Happy. Focused. And now they're left trying to find a husband where they used to look down on men, in public, in desperation, in regret. This is what happens when women believe they have forever, when they think beauty will last, attention will always be there, and the world will keep revolving around their options. But that window closes. And when it does, it closes hard. You can't treat men like disposable tools for a decade and then panic at 35 when your phone stops buzzing and no one's checking for you. You can't spend years chasing clout, money, and validation, and then expect to suddenly be wife material once you've run out of options. That's not how it works. That's not how men work. And they're learning that the hard way. Now Whole Foods looks like a dating app. Women walking in circles, doing extra laps by the meat section, hoping to bump into a man with a ring and a job. But those men aren't looking for desperation. They're not looking to fix somebody's broken attitude. They're not trying to reward the same women who once laughed at them for being too boring, too nice, or too average. Now you want average? Now you want boring? Now you're craving the stability you once mocked? The truth is, this isn't a man problem. It's a woman reality check. The tables have turned. Men are building. Men are healing. Men are focusing on purpose, legacy, and peace. And women are finally starting to realize that independence doesn't hug you at night. Feminism doesn't bring flowers. Empowerment doesn't cook you dinner when you're sick. And now they're running into Whole Foods trying to reverse 10 years of bad decisions with lip gloss and eye contact. It's too late. Men, do not fall for the desperation. Don't become the fallback plan. Don't be the rescue mission. Protect your peace. Let them sit in the consequences they created. Because we're not playing that game anymore. We're not chasing what once rejected us. We're not saving people who walked away from stability and now want to come back broken and confused. You had your shot. You missed. Now hold that.
We are at the Home Depot to find ourselves a man. We can do this. Option number 1. She's embarrassed about option number 1, so she's running away from me. Option 2. Option number 3, straight ahead. I like it. He's thick. He's that thick boy. Option 5.
You can't make this stuff up anymore. We're at the point now where desperate women are literally walking through Home Depot. Yes, Home Depot, hoping to find a husband. Not Lowe's, not Target, not church. Home Depot, where men are minding their business, buying tools, fixing their homes, building things, focused, and now women are circling the aisle pretending they need help picking out a hammer just to spark a conversation. These aren't women who've always valued men. These are the same women who once screamed, "I don't need a man. Men are weak, I'm the table, and I'll never settle." But now they're walking through a hardware store like it's speed dating. It's not men out here begging. It's not men changing who they are to attract women. It's women changing their entire personality, wardrobe, and schedule to maybe run into a masculine man. And it's not because they love tools. It's because they hit a wall. They bought into the lie. They spent years chasing careers, clout, party scenes, rejecting good men, turning down stability. And now they're realizing no amount of money or girl boss energy can replace the feeling of having a real man by your side. So now they're in Home Depot hoping a guy in a flannel will rescue them from the loneliness they caused. This is what happens when women waste their youth chasing freedom over family, attention over affection, hookups over husbands. Now they're suddenly ready to settle down. But the men they overlooked, they're gone, moved on, married, focused. They're not hanging out waiting to be your second choice. And men have learned they're not falling for the desperation anymore. We see the game. We see the switch up. You mocked masculine men. Now you want one to rebuild the life you broke down? No, you walked away from stability. And now you're trying to circle back like nothing happened. Men, don't let the dress and perfume fool you. Home Depot is not their happy place. They're not there because they suddenly love construction. They're there because they've run out of options. Social media is dry. Dating apps are trash. Clubs are filled with clowns. So now they're trying to hunt husbands at the lumber section, hoping a real man with a strong back and a clean record makes eye contact and gives them a chance. But here's the thing. You had your chance. You threw it away. We're not rescuing you from your own bad decisions. We're not rebuilding broken women who walked away from builders. Men are focused on peace now, on purpose, legacy, and self-respect. If it took loneliness, regret, and a silent phone to make you see a man's value, that's not love. That's survival. And we're not rewarding survival mode relationships. That's not our responsibility. Stay sharp. Stay grounded. Stop chasing what's now crawling toward you in desperation. They weren't checking for you when you were working on yourself, building in silence. Now they're wandering around Home Depot looking lost because the life they built alone doesn't feel like a win anymore. That's not your problem. That's not your mission. That's their consequence.
Guys, I just found the love of my life at Home Depot. He's fine, and I want to get his number. The only thing, he's with a kid, so I don't know how foul that is to ask him for his number with his son. But he's fine. Like, Home Depot be having them cuties. Hold on. I want to show you guys. Hold on. Look. Damn. He's cute as hell. See, he's with a kid. You know what? I'm just gonna approach him. I'm gonna act like I'm alive. Excuse me. Hey. Hi. How are you?
What happened? Can I help?
I know you're with your son, but I just was wondering if I could have your number.
Sorry, you can't.
Okay, fine.
So now we've hit a new low. Women aren't just wandering through Home Depot hoping to find a man. They're walking up to married men in public, in broad daylight, with their kids standing right there, and having the audacity to ask for his number. No shame, no respect, no boundaries. A child next to him, and she still shoots her shot. This is where we are. This is what it's come to. And let's be real. If a man did that to a woman with her husband and kids right there, social media would explode. He'd be labeled a creep, a predator, disrespectful, thirsty. But when women do it, silence, excuses, laughter, even encouragement. It's not confidence, it's desperation. These are the same women who spend years ignoring good men, turning down commitment, laughing at marriage, living off attention. But now the attention has dried up. The offers are gone. The validation isn't hitting the same. So what do? They target the very men who already did what they were supposed to do, settled down, started a family, took on responsibility. Because in her eyes, if he's married, he must be valuable. He must be stable. He must be worth chasing. So now she's trying to insert herself into someone else's home because she couldn't build her own. This is not bold. This is not empowered. This is disrespectful. It's low. It's selfish. And it shows you everything you need to know about how far gone things have gotten. When a woman sees a man with his family, she should respect that, honor that, stay far away from that. But instead, she sees it as challenge, as a test, as an opportunity. And that speaks volumes. Not about the man, but about the women who are now trying to compete with his wife and insert themselves into a situation they didn't help build. These same women will cry on social media about there being no good men left. But the truth is, when they see a good man, they don't respect him. They target him. They want to take what another woman has, not because they love him, but because they're bitter, jealous, and late. They had their chance. They wasted it. And now they're willing to break up homes to fix their loneliness. That's not strength. That's sickness. And men need to wake up. Let this be your reminder. Protect your family. These women don't care about your vows. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about your peace. They see you as a fix for their bad decisions. And if you fall for it, you lose everything you built for someone who couldn't build anything for herself. Stay focused. Stay loyal. And most of all, stay alert, because these women are out here bold, reckless, and crossing lines that should never be crossed.
Finally, my first time getting hit on in Home Depot.
And how did that go?
And he's not even attractive.
Well, that's unfortunate. Perhaps next time one should hold up a sign saying, "Don't bother hitting on me unless one happens to be attractive. Only attractive men need apply."
I don't know what I'm doing wrong,
A person could only guess.
but I'm here all the time. So for all you people who are like, go to Home Depot, that's where all the men are. No, they're not.
The men are actually there. But the thing that one is failing to take into consideration is that men have been told repeatedly by women not to approach them because that could be considered creepy or even harassing behavior. And the men have been paying attention because since they have no way of knowing what each woman considers to be attractive, they are just playing it safe and not even bothering. So my recommendation is if one really wants to get a man's attention at a hardware store, which is full of tools and possible project ideas, one had probably better approach him.
So let's break this one down. She walks into Home Depot, maybe for first time, hoping to finally meet a man. Not just any man, a husband, a provider, a man with tools, direction, purpose. She's heard the hype, seen the clips, knows the trend. Home Depot is where the good men are hiding. But instead of being humble, observant, or even respectful, the first thing out of her mouth is, "He's not even attractive." Just like that. The entitlement, the arrogance, the audacity. She's surrounded by hard-working, masculine, real men. And she's critiquing them like she's sitting in a royal chair, forgetting she's the one not alone, desperate, and confused about why she keeps failing. And here's the real kicker. She doesn't even know what she's doing wrong. She keeps showing up, keeps hanging around the aisles, looking pretty, maybe smiling here and there, but nothing's happening. No numbers, no conversations, no ring, no man. And she's genuinely lost, confused, wondering why things aren't working. But let's be real, the reason is simple. It's her, not her hair, not her dress, not her timing. It's the attitude, the energy, the entitlement, the idea that men exist to pursue her simply because she showed up, like her presence alone is a gift. But men today, real men, they're not impressed. They see through it. That man she called not attractive, that's a homeowner. That's a father. That a man who wakes up early, works hard, provides for people, builds things with his hands, and doesn't need validation from someone who just now discovered what a wrench looks like. She's not even his type, because he's not checking for pretty faces with no peace, no humility, and no value beyond selfies. And that's what so many women don't get. You can walk into the right place, be surrounded by the right men, and still miss every opportunity if your mindset is off. And hers is way off. Good men aren't drawn to ego. They're not attracted to entitlement. And they're not impressed by women who bring nothing to the table but opinions and a fake sense of superiority. If all she can do is criticize, compare, and complain, she can keep coming to Home Depot every day for the rest of the year and still leave empty-handed. Because good men aren't desperate. They're not thirsty. They're not chasing validation from the same women who used to mock masculinity and now suddenly want to be saved by it. She thinks she's being picky, but really, she's being delusional. She thinks showing up is enough. It's not. What matters is the energy you bring, the character you carry, and the respect you give. If you walk into a room full of good men, and the first thing you do is look down on them, trust me, you've already disqualified yourself. Because real men are not standing around begging for attention. They're building. And if you can't see value in a man, unless he looks like a Hollywood actor, maybe that's why you're alone, sis. Don't let these last-minute tourists into your world. You've been building, growing, working, and showing up. Don't let a woman who just now realized what she missed come in and judge your worth based on shallow nonsense. You deserve better. You deserve someone who respects your presence. Not just when she's desperate, but from day one.
Okay, so I just came into Home Depot because I want to see if I can find a new Christmas tree because God knows I need one. And as I was walking in from the parking lot, a guy says, "Hey, love your boots. They're perfect for the weather." And then I realized I'm wearing like sweats and a boots and I'm not looking my best, but I thought I am in Home Depot and maybe there is a man for me in Home Depot. I have not been to Home Depot in a while, so maybe I'll find a man in Home Depot.
Another woman, 50 years old now, walking through Home Depot looking for love. And if you listen closely, she's not even hiding it. She's literally expressing her experience like it's some romantic revelation. She says a man looked at her and said, "Hi, I love your boots. They're perfect for the weather." Just that. Just a man being polite, casual, respectful. And she takes that as a sign. Maybe there's a man for me in Home Depot. At 50, after a lifetime of ignoring men, turning down good ones, choosing chaos, chasing independence, and now, suddenly, Home Depot is her last hope for love. Let's really talk about it. This is what happens when women spend their prime years chasing attention, living off validation, and treating love like an option instead of priority. Now they hit 50 and a man simply compliments their boots, and they're ready to plan a wedding. That's not romance. That's desperation. That's not cute. It's a cry for help. Because the truth is, she wouldn't even be in this position if she had valued good men when it mattered most. And now she's trying to turn Home Depot into a dating site. These women are out here walking the aisles like it's a singles mixer, smiling at any man who even acknowledges them, praying for conversation. And it's sad, not because she's older, but because this entire situation is a result of her own choices. She's not unlucky. She's not a victim. She's not overlooked. She's a product of years of turning down stable men, chasing the wrong ones, and thinking she'd always have more time. Now, a basic compliment feels like a lifeline. But let's flip it. Imagine a man walking into a store and falling apart because a woman said, "Nice shoes." He'd be clowned, mocked, told to get a grip. But when women do it, We're supposed to call it sweet. No, it's accountability time. You didn't invest in real love when you had it. You traded commitment for fun, leadership for attention, and now, when the party's over, you want to search for what you threw away. In Home Depot of all places. They're not looking for love. They're looking for rescue. She's not there because she suddenly discovered a passion for power tools. She's there because every other door is closed. She ignored the good man, laughed at the faithful one, blocked the hardworking one, and now she's hoping a stranger in aisle 9 says something sweet enough to start a new chapter. That's not romantic. That's survival mode. We're watching closely. We're choosing wisely. Because too many women are only realizing the value of love after they've wasted the years where it could have been built. So now they wander around places like Home Depot, hoping to rewind time with a smile and some boots. But it doesn't work that way.
I witnessed something crazy at Home Depot, and I'll tell you right now. So I'm like at the end of one of the aisles, I'm looking at something, and then next to me there's a woman. I'm not thinking anything about the woman, but inside the aisle, like very, very close, there's a guy and a baby, and the baby must have been like maybe 1 or 2. Looking at the rugs or whatever, and then the woman next to me is also looking at the rugs. This woman comes up to the guy and the baby, and it's like talking to the baby, oh my god, you're so adorable, blah blah. Mind you, I'm just there minding my business, and I have no idea that the woman next to me is associated with that guy or has anything to do with that guy. The woman that goes up to the guy starts talking to the baby, and then it just kind of escalates, and she's making comments like, oh my god, you're so cute, just like your dad. Oh my god, like, you know, kind of like throwing little jabs. So the woman and I kind of lock eyes because we're like, what? And she's like, that's my husband. Like, oh shit, like, are you gonna go over there? And she's like, let me wait a minute. I look at her hand, she's wearing a ring, so I'm assuming he's also wearing a ring. I mean, she said it was her husband, so I'm like, if he has a ring, and this woman is coming up to him and the baby talking about you're so cute like your dad. So the guy's kind of being like standoffish, like kind of looking around, like you can feel like he felt uncomfortable. I don't know if it was because his wife was right there, but he's kind of like, at one point he looks around and then he notices her and he's like, almost like blink twice if you need help type of vibe. So whatever, the wife ends up walking over there, and I'm just kind of like still there kind of eavesdropping because the chisme was like juicy, and she just goes up, she's like, hi, yeah, I'm his wife. And the woman's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And then she kind of just like walks away, and I'm like, are we for real? Nobody's safe even at Home Depot. My man be at Home Depot all the time with my son.
This young lady in the video, she didn't sugarcoat anything. She literally laid it all out, just saying what she saw with her own eyes. She was at Home Depot and started noticing how desperate some of these women have become. Not subtle, not casual, not classy, just bold, loud, and completely out of pocket, circling the aisles, fake shopping, eyeballing this man that looks like he owns a tool set, women in full makeup, fake lashes, tight outfits, heels at Home Depot, just hoping to get approached by a man doing nothing but minding his business. She said it with disbelief, like, are y'all seeing this? Because what used to be a store for buying materials has now turned into the last hope for women who wasted their prime and are now out of options. That's what it is, last chance energy. The same women who used to say, I don't need no man, who were too good for average guys, too independent to settle down, now pacing around Home Depot like it's a singles bar. And this is an observation made by men. It's women calling it out now. Even other women see the desperation and can't ignore it anymore. These women aren't there for drills or drywall. They're not contractors. They don't care about home improvement. They're not building anything but fake conversations. They're looking for a man to save them from the life they chose, lonely, bitter, and full of regret. The same women who used to clown men for being too nice, too boring, too available, are now hoping those same boring men notice them in aisle 14 while they pretend to shop for what they don't even know how to measure. It's not just sad, it's pathetic. Because the truth is, this is a consequence, not a coincidence. These women aren't victims of bad luck. They're victims of their own bad choices. They passed up good men, laughed at commitment, played games, chased a lifestyle, and now they're praying for eye contact in a hardware store. And when even other women start calling it out, you know it's gotten out of hand. This is what happens when you know your value and stop chasing. This is what happens when you build your life, Stay focused, stay solid, and let the dust settle. The very same women who once looked down on you, now they're showing up where they think you hang out, hoping to be chosen. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to say a word. Just watch, observe, let them walk by with their fake intentions, and realize they're no longer in control. Don't fall for the act. Don't reward desperation. Don't become a retirement plan for someone who only sees your value now that no one else is calling. You're not a rescue mission. You're not a second chance. You're a man with options, and you don't owe validation to anyone who overlooked you when you were building. Like, share, subscribe, and remember, if even women are exposing how desperate other women have become, that's not progress. That's proof that the game is over. And the ones who played the longest are finally realizing they lost.